Bonjour mes amis, hi guys. Collection review time. This collection is full of life, passion, careful consideration. Pete, a 36-year-old mechanical engineer from Luxembourg. If you don't know where Luxembourg is, it's nestled between France, Belgium and Germany. A collection that reflects his interest for things mechanical, watches, cars, bikes. He loves architecture, handcraft, woodworking, and also gardening. So he's a very hands-on guy. One day he would love to be able to work himself on watch movements as well. So 3 kids and a wonderful wife. And yeah, he's working into architecture and studies of buildings. So let's dig into this very interesting collection that really reflects his personality, I feel, and puts a smile on my face, and I think it has a lot of room to grow. First watch was a Swatch Irony, bought 20 years ago almost. And while it's not much, it is where we all started, Swatch, and I do miss my Swatches, and it's a bit like the Madeleine of Proust, you know, when you put your Swatch on your wrist again, it reminds you of a different time when things were very enthusiastic and simple. Now the first serious watch, we're already getting into the serious stuff. Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Moon in rose gold from the end of the 90s, early 2000s. This is when Jaeger, was really pushing for quality and to come back with a strong product. I really love that period of JLC. It was a gift from his dad to celebrate his entry into engineering school. He wore it a lot. Imagine you're a crazy student probably going about at night drinking with your friend, and he wore it from 2004 to 2017 a lot, and now try to babysit it a little bit more. It went through two services which are very costly, especially for this watch, which has complications, and he regrets asking at the second service time not to polish the watch. So something to remember, because it's going to change the character of the watch, and when you've put so much life into it, the reality of scratches is, I have watches with many scratches and I don't even notice them. It's really when you look at them with a loupe and take a picture. Like if you sell a watch, yeah, the potential buyers will see all those scratches. But when you live with the watch, you don't. So yeah, be careful not to remove the character, and of course the gold through polishing, even if it's done by Jaeger-LeCoultre. Anyway, the watch is very precise, pleasure to wear. And now it's a watch for important occasions. It's got a calendar and the moon phase, and recently Pete bought a bracelet for it. What he likes about the watch is the prestige of the brand, the tradition. It's a dress watch, automatic in fine metal. He likes the complications, the deploying clasp, and hopes to transmit it, to pass it on to his daughter when she turns 18. Ooh, careful there. Hopefully she will be responsible enough to take care of a beautiful watch like that. Second big watch, the Omega Seamaster, bought new in 2019, 20% off from his local independent jeweler. And he bought it after buying a house, which was a project to renovate, which ended not long ago, so it took 3 years. At the time, he was going through a work transition, but really wanted to offer his kids a beautiful place to grow. It's a tool watch that he wears all the time, at work, at home, in the garden, when building wooden furniture himself. He wears it at the pool or at the North Sea. He often switches the bracelet for a rubber strap or a NATO from Adrian at Bark and Jack. Shout out to Adrian. He says it's a superb watch, precise, robust, and of course has the ceramic bezel. He likes the prestige of the brand, the accuracy, the versatile aspect of this black model, and the fact that it's bulletproof. I totally agree. Whether you go Omega or Rolex Mariner, you know, you get a great watch. Next, we have a Swatch System 51 Hodinky model that he got new in the spring of 2020 during the lockdown. He likes the design codes, the mechanism, the simplicity, how light it is, and he wears it sometimes to save a bit of life on the Omega. Next, we have a Unimatic U1-SS2 SpongeBob, both new November 2020, just for fun, to make the kids laugh. It's affordable, and the bracelet, actually, the original Unimatic bracelet, is very good manufacture. He had another one, a U1F with a steel bracelet, but he sold it just for the story. All right, third serious piece, the Iwc Spitfire Chronograph, both new in April, and that was to celebrate the end of this project of renovating the house after 3 years of work on it. He had done all the plans, contacted the workers and everything, and yeah, supervised the whole build himself. He was tempted by a Black Bay Chrono Tudor, but felt it was too much hype. So the IWC, he likes the classic design, the heritage, although it's a very modern build. The dimension to him is ideal at 41 millimeters. He likes the action of the chrono, and he also bought a deployant clasp. So it's very much a grail watch for him, as he had heard his dad talk about IWC for so long. To complement it, and sometimes babysit it a little bit on the side, he bought Hamilton khaki field, almost new, at a very good price, because he liked the design. I used to have an UTC very similar to this. I understand that they're a bit heavier, a bit on the bigger size, but this one is 40 millimeters, fairly similar, and it's got a 80 hours power reserve, which is great. It's not too thick because it doesn't have the chronograph, of course, and he likes the color, the simple design, and the very precise indices. And lastly, he's got a Nomus Lambda 175th year, the Uhrmacherei Glashooter. It's another grail for him that he really loved when it came out, but couldn't afford it, and he bought it later, new old stock, had to pay up a little bit. He really loved the handcraft that goes into it. So it adds to the collection because it's a limited edition, done by hand with power reserve. It's also hand wound. He doesn't wear it too much and hopes to pass it on to his kids as well. I should mention that Pete wrote me an email in French, very eloquent, very inspiring, so I'm just summarizing and paraphrasing in English for you, of course. Next, we have the two watches of his spouse, the Junghans, that he bought when they got engaged in 2011, and the Nomus as a 2020 gift. So the Junghans was a quartz piece. He just wanted to test the water, see if his wife was interested in the design, and of course it's a very easy to use Bauhaus the design. And then as a gift in 2020 came the Nomus Campus, which I like actually, Neomatic with a sapphire case back, and lovely touch, the name of their trinket engraved at the back of the watch. That's the engraving done at the manufacturer itself. So he chose it because of the manufacturer caliber, the versatility of the steel bracelet and the water resistance. And now his wife wears it proudly at work, often on a leather strap. So there you go. Pete is asking what I think of this very interesting, very personal collection, which he feels is diverse, that he can wear according to his moods and whatever events life has in store for him. To him, it's a perfect collection while being reasonable without being anodyne. Of course, he says you can always go higher, more expensive, but as we all know, we have limited means, and it's always interesting to have very usable watches, but also to have watches that reflect your personality, your own taste. And this is what's so interesting with doing these reviews, to see all these different approaches to watch collecting. His next purchase, he's thinking of more of an investment type of piece, something with appeals more to the head than the heart, because so far the watches he bought were just he just fell in love with them, and most of them, probably all of them, are not really the type of watch that will keep strong value. Although they're all quality, I think they will keep sound value, but yeah, it's not the typical watch that we think as a investment piece, but who knows what the future is made of. Now he's thinking about adding an oyster bracelet to the collection, maybe the Explorer from Rolex. Of course, now Rolex went for the 36mm, and Pete prefers larger watches, so the 39 that I have, I think, would be quite amazing, and indeed would the design of it, I think, is just something that would appeal to him. He's asking me what I think about the Seamaster 300 Black. I told you, very cool watch, one of the nicer ones. You go there, or you go the Submariner. Either way, you get a great watch. And what I think about the Tudor Black Bay 58 Bronze Boutique Edition? Well, actually, I've been eagerly awaiting a call, and it's not coming. Unfortunately, I got the ceramic, so maybe I'm not going to get a call for the bronze, but I definitely would love to get one. I don't want to buy a full gold watch, and I think that one would be an amazing alternative to it. I like the colors, and when I saw it in person, I really like actually the numerals, which at first I didn't know if I would like when I saw them on picture. But definitely, I think it would be cool. It's a great format, 39mm. Would it look good in this collection? Absolutely. Why not? It's a cool watch. You know, Pete likes to have fun watches, but I think it's time to go for more quality. Maybe snap out of the teenager phase, and look forward to get some quality. So yeah, Black Bay Bronze, if you can get it, I would, if I was you, and definitely I would if for myself. Now the other watch that I'm thinking of, since you're talking oyster bracelet, and since you can handle a slightly larger size of watch, is the Explorer 2. Is, you know, they've made it a bit bigger in every way. I think the white dial, the polar dial, it's getting a bit too quirky in a way, but I think it's in a way that you could appreciate. My favorite is the black one, I think, with your orange hand, and I would go for the outgoing model rather than seek the new one. But either way, I would ask my jeweler to put me on the wait list for that one as well, because there's probably not as much demand, and you might be able to get the brand new one, or if you look on the second-hand market, maybe you should try on one of the outgoing ones. I think it would add a great complication with the second time zone. It would be very practical with the date, and you would have another very solid steel sports from a very good brand. I think definitely going Rolex is the right move for you. Explorer 1, I prefer, I think for you is 39mm. That's the one to go for. I don't think the 36 is gonna suit you really well. It's gonna be too small compared to the other watches that you have. So 39, yeah, no, they come at a premium because it's discontinued, but you never know. Look around, but I think Explorer 2 would be the one that would be perfect for you. It's sporty, you can use it a lot, but you work in a casual environment, so something you can wear absolutely every day. I think you would fall in love with it. Other model I think you would love, when I look at your collection, the fun into the collection, we don't want to take that away with a very serious, boring suggestion. I think the new Oyster Perpetual, in yellow, for example, or in red, color red, hard to get, but same thing. Put your name on it, put on the list, and I think it would be a great watch for you. They're a bit bigger now, 40.5mm, something like that. So I think it would suit you really well. But do not discard the outgoing versions. I think the 39mm, I think those could be quite cool, and by now the value of those is established. I think you will never lose on them. Now long term, when you talk about investment, of course Rolex is already very good, good way to go. But I think long term, start saving, stop buying too many watches and all that. Make sure you don't go too fast in your purchases, buying at full retail brands like IWC or Nomus. You've got a solid foundation to your collection. I think the GLC is wonderful. Obviously, the Omega is a great, very usable watch. I'm not a big pilot watch fan, but if you're gonna have one, I guess IWC is the way to go. Just afraid you might have paid too much on that one. I'm not sure how much of a discount you got on it. I'm not super crazy about the Nomus. Actually, I like your wife's Nomus quite a lot, and especially with the engraving at the back. I think it's a wonderful watch, but I really like the design of the face as well. The Nomus Lambda, you said you paid over retail to get it. Well, we all have our grails, and apparently that one is keeping good value. So who knows? Maybe I'm totally wrong there, but I think one is enough in your collection. Just invest in your work, in your family. Make sure everything is in order, that the house is in order, the cars, the schooling, and then when you're 45 or 50, somewhere like that, I would add a longer. I think for you it would be the perfect crowning of this collection. And rather than the 1815, I could see you with a Saxonia, rather the Saxonia date, or either the date or the moon phase. I think that would round up the collection to perfection. So yeah, to summarize, Explorer 2 black dial, or Oyster Perpetual yellow dial or red dial, and in the long term, longer Saxonia date or longer Saxonia moon. But maybe by then they will come up with other things. They will certainly come up with other things, and you can celebrate your 45th or your 48th or 50th birthday with a wonderful German watch. All right, guys, thank you for staying with me for this review. Let me know, let Pete know what you think about his collection, his choices, his taste. Of course, it's very, very personal, but I think he's put together an interesting collection, and he loves his watches. That's the most important thing, and he's got something to look forward to. Most importantly, congratulations on building a nice home for your kids. Take good care of your wife. Get her a watch as well once in a while. Thank you again for sharing your collection, Pete, and I'll speak to you guys in the next one. Bye bye.